honor and privilege to be here. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Dhanendra Kumar, who is a very acclaimed bureaucrat. He retired as a secretary in the government of India. He's worked with many chief ministers, many cabinet ministers. He was also the chairman of the Competition Commission of India. But most importantly, he's a very kind man. He also happens to share his birthday with my mother. But whenever I've called him for anything, he's been very. In fact, Ashima called me in the morning and said, he's so nice, and he was just going praising him. I said, I know, I have been recipient of his kindness. And last year, he sent me an article on the role of GCs and what's happening on the legal and business cusp. And I thought, and Ashima and Garima at that time asked me who should be the jury chair for this. So I did recommend Shri Dhanendra Kumarji's time. And he was in Singapore and he virtually led the jury. So please give Mr. Dhanendra Kumar a big round of applause. I met some of you because we started BW Legal World in this room on 12th December 2019. I have to acknowledge the presence of Mr. C.V. Raghu. I don't know where is Mr. Raghu. Mr. C.V. Raghu is there. He's been a very important part of our journey in the last 5 years. He's been on a lot of our juries. He's contributed to our initiatives throughout the last 4+ years. So thank you, Mr. Raghu. I know you also had a GC council, and thank you for making your contributions. I remember when we started it, there was a colleague of mine called Shri Rupa. She's now an entrepreneur. She's building something in the legal tech space, very dear to me, one of the nicest colleagues I've worked, and hopefully we'll work with her again. And I got introduced to Mr. Pankaj Vasani. I don't know where is Pankaj. Pankaj, and that time he used to be the CFO and the Chief Legal Officer of Publicis, which I know well because of my advertising community, which is, with all humility, the #1 community in advertising marketing for the last 2+ years. And anytime we've done anything legal and my team asks me something that I don't know, I call Pankaj and I request him for his input. So thank you, Pankaj, for contributing to our initiatives. We lean on your time. To all our jury members, to my friend Mr. Amar Sundaram again. I have 2 law firms advising one of my company each. One is Lex Counsel, Alfred Eddie Alfred is no longer part. Seema, Dimpy and Alishan, and they introduced me to Amar. I first met Amar with Seema many years back, Amar. And we will do the annual GC survey in a deep way so that it's of value to you. It's not just a tick mark, but this year we'll do it. That is mine and Ashima's, very important bucket list item. All the jury members of the BW Legal World Awards, Mr. Krishna Datta, you made the right point. The role of the GCs, because you've seen it from both ends, is evolving. I don't want to, you are experts, you're on board, some of you are on boards of your companies, all of you are in the executive or management committees of which contribute to decision making on large issues. So I don't want to talk to you about something that you know better than me, but I do want to say that I have said this repeatedly, and Sumit has joined us in the business side. Ashima, of course, leads it editorially. We have Krishnendra, we have Kostab. Garima used to work with us, but she's gone and started working with a law firm. That's okay, she's a very important part of us still. That we want to be the homepage of the GCs. We want to earn it. And I was telling some of my friends that we have a long way to go. One, we shouldn't do a GC event just once a year. So hopefully from this year, we'll start doing more GC interactions, at least quarterly. We'll do it in Mumbai, Bombay, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. So we have to be more, we can't be just Delhi-centric. Second, we are about, as I said, about GCs. So we have to have content that is of value to GCs, and I'm sure Ashima will add value to that as she and her team do it. I don't want to talk to you about law. Yesterday we had the BW CFO World Conference here. We had some 45 odd CFOs of very large companies in the room, or growing companies. Some of them are, Mr. Zamir Nathani is there, he's joined Cartrade, your CFO was here, and one of your investee company CEO was there. We talked about how the role of a CFO is changing, how it's evolving. I can say that we talked about compliance, we talked of value creation, we talked of thinking about the future. I think all that applies to chief legal officers also. If you look at the US, and I was preparing, the number of chief legal officers or GCs on the boards of top companies in the US is growing. And that trend is also reflected in India, though the numbers are not comparable. So more and more chief legal officers or GCs are being represented on large company boards. Some of them are also becoming CEOs or leaders of the businesses that they have been part of. That's a healthy trend. That tells you about the contribution of a GSO, of a GC to a business. The GC is a business leader, whether he or she is on the board, makes a difference, but they continue to make an impact with or without being on the board. I have your attention, so I want to, I talk about it a lot and I follow it. I told Mr. Dhanendra Kumar that I overslept this morning. I told Ashima that I'm feeling very, very tired because I've had about 15 events in the last 10 days in both the companies, and I've been doing Delhi, Bombay, and my wife allowed me to sleep extra today morning, so I missed a book launch, which I rarely do once I commit, and Ashima was there. But I will talk to you about sleep, because a lot of people ask me, where does my high energy come from? It comes from quality sleep, almost 25 plus days a month. 5 days a month, I'm not able to do it, but I intend to do it 30 days a month. All of us work very hard. We have dreams. We have achieved a lot. But I do want to emphasize that I ask people how many hours you sleep. A lot of them mostly tell them 6 hours. Some say 7. Only 10% of people I meet say they sleep 8 hours or more. You know all this. You have families, your mothers, fathers. Some of you may be grandfathers, grandsons. You may be your grandchildren. So I'm not telling you something you don't know. But I do want to reiterate the value of sleep. I'm calm today. I'm happy today because I slept 10 hours last night. So I do want to reiterate, and I don't call my team in the night. I rarely mail in the night. I don't expect them to answer my mails in the night. And I work very hard. From morning, it's a different story. So I do want to talk to you about sleep. I read this book about, I think, 10 years back. I can't be sure of the date. Whenever it came out, 10 plus years back, Why We Sleep. It's a book by Matthew Walker. I don't get any royalties on the sales of this book, so I'm not plugging it. And I read it last year in July again. The new version came, the new upgrade, and pretty much the same story. And it basically says if you sleep more, sleep is 60% of your health. Other is movement and nutrition. You can avoid Parkinson's as you grow old. You'll be more mindful. You'll be kind to yourself. You'll not do stress eating. You'll be able to avoid lifestyle diseases as long as you're doing the other two right. But this is 60. So I want to reiterate, because in our BW well-being world, we've undertaken a sleep study. And Indians are sleep deprived. They're sleep deprived, and with phones. So insomnia is a very big issue. So I just want to reiterate, if even one of you can sleep more because I talked about it, I feel that I've done my job. Second is, all of you are, Mr. Dhanendra Kumar is very kind to me. Pankaj is very kind to me. Amar is very kind to me. A lot of you are very kind to me. My colleagues are very kind to me. And I'm a driven person. I want to build something. I want to have an impact. But the most important thing that I want to talk about, and I have received kindness, is kindness. I want to show you the photo of a guy, and I want to see if you know him. Go back to the first slide first. How many of you know him, and what is he known for? Do you know this guy? His name is given. He's an Israeli who in 2012 was very close to he left the base camp of Everest, and he was about to climb Mount Everest. And then he discovered one of his friends had died and one was about to die. So he had two choices, either to become the youngest Israeli to climb the Mount Everest or to save a life. You can guess what he did. That's why I'm talking about him. He chose to come back from very close to the peak, and he saved his friend's life, and he got frostbites. He had 2 of his fingers amputated. So it's a very me world. Everyone wants to grow, and there's nothing wrong in it. But in this world, I tell my friends and my colleagues and people I know, and everyone is kind. But this guy gave up being the youngest Israeli mountain climber to reach the Mount Everest to save a friend's life. And he was very close, imagine. He went up all the way, and he chose to come back, bring a friend down because it's very tough. So in whatever you do, I'm sure you spread kindness, so grateful for all of you spreading kindness. And third is the biggest issue that faces us. It's another slide, my friend. Yes, just go back. Just go back. Stay on the Time magazine slide. This is the issue I read last year. And I know climate change is for real. Look at the temperatures in the world. Look at temperatures in India. Look at temperatures in sub-Saharan Africa. Look at temperature wildfires in US. Look at the wildfires in Europe. Look at the wildfires in Australia. So climate change is for real. In whatever you all are leaders, you are chief legal officers, some of you are on your boards. You have a lot of influence on your community, on your organization, on the people you meet. And all of us are flying more. We're buying bigger houses. We are using cars, some of them electric. If in our sphere of influence we can contribute to the consciousness on ESG beyond the mandatory tick marks. And we started ranking India's top companies on sustainability 5 years back. This will be the 5th year. And it's an issue that everyone looks forward to. It's called India's most sustainable company. And we look at sustainable company practices within large companies. So I just want to say that in your area of work, if you can increase the climate consciousness, become deeply committed to the planet, and most of you are. I'm not telling you something that you're not doing or you're not conscious of, it's just bringing top of mind. It's my duty to be also able to share that Businessworld is not just a magazine. I'm not in the business of magazines, website, events, we do all that. We're in the business of content and we're in the business of audiences. So our digital site, we finally launched a new site a couple of weeks back. It's a long way to go. We want to be a very large digital player. We're a significant digital player. Hopefully soon we'll launch a BW OTT. I don't, because of Exchange for Media, I know what's happening in the media space. There is a sunset date on television. I don't know whether it's 5, 10, 6. I don't know. I'm not a futurist nor an astrologer. But the fact is, we'll up our investments in digital content and in digital format in terms of delivery of content. We're also building many B2B and B2C communities. We formally launched our security community on the 30th of May in this hotel. The site has been around for maybe 1.5 years. We've done 2-3 initiatives, but we'll formally launch it with a magazine. And I still believe in magazines again, but it's a quarterly magazine. It's not every month. And it's a cut above everyone. And I can tell you we have 4 times yield on the advertising page than the next guy who's been around for 20 years. And I believe in abundance. Life is about coexistence. So we launched our security community on the 30th May, though the bwsecurityworld.com site is live for the last 1+ year. This year also, last year we started a practice of giving a Hall of Fame at our GC Awards. We gave it to Mr. Hemant Kumar of L&T, who spent a lot of time in L&T. This year we give it to another leader in the GC space who's contributed to our initiative and who's a tall individual in this space. I will not take the name, otherwise it will give away the anticipation. I want to end by saying that we are in it for long term. We are investing in it. We are not, I think this year will be a breakthrough year. The next initiative you see will be bigger, better, and it's about resources, and it's about doing content which finds a meaning and value in your lives, even for 10 minutes a day. On 15th of tomorrow, throughout the day, some of you have been here. Tomorrow we have the Global Legal Leaders Summit, which is essentially our law firm awards. Essentially. So that's from morning till evening. In the evening at 6:30 p.m. we have the awards. On 15th at the St. Regis in Bombay, this is tomorrow, and Justice Deepak Mishra was our jury chair. Our well-being community is growing. And one of the most successful events we do in our domain is the well-being event. One of our best curators curates it. So we have a plethora of well-being leaders talking about mind, body, soul It's at the St. Regis in Mumbai on the 15th. We've done it 2 years in Delhi. This is the second year in Bombay. Hopefully we'll take it to, it's called the Festival of Wellbeing. And really we have the 30 under 30 of Wellbeing World and the 40 under 40 of Wellbeing World at, at the same time with the awards, with the conference. On 16th, which is the next day, we do have our Future of Design. We're building a design community. We have a long way. Our luxury and design editor, Ms. Jyotsna Sharma, leads that. And Jyotsna has built this with us for a while. Again, before I acquired Businessworld 10 years back, Mr. Pradyuman Vyas, who was the director of the National Institute of Design in Ahmedabad, used to partner with BW on the design awards. He left and that didn't happen. But for the last 3 years, he's the jury chair of our design awards. And he is definitely somebody we look up to for guidance on this initiative. So again, design is about audio design. So we have Rasul Pokati, who's a Grammy winner. We have product design guys. We have, of course, architect design. We have interior designs. We have somebody on content design because the digital delivery of content is big. So this is again, really a event that we look forward to. Some of the industry leaders in this domain are at the event. So I have your attention. So I wanted to get your time on this. I wish you well. Thank you for taking out time in your busy schedules to be here. Whatever we do at BW Businessworld is a jury-led. I don't even know the winners. Of course, Ashima and my colleagues use my email to write mails, and I do answer mails. I think of it as a basic courtesy. I acknowledge most mails if I have missed because I have been in the midst of travel, but I do, want to extend a sense of gratitude and for patronizing our community in the initial years. I remember starting Exchange for Media 24 years back. I used to have hair, and I started Exchange for Media to build a B2B marketplace for the media industry. That didn't happen for the first 3 years, but for the last 21 years, because Pankaj comes from that domain, he was the CFO of Publicis. We're absolutely the leader in that space editorially. We're leader in revenue, aspiration, but we're an editorial product. If you're a leader editorially, we do very bold stories, which get me legal notices. But since I have friends in the legal fraternity, we are not worried too much. And those are factual stories. And we don't run Exchange for Media to run down our community. We actually run it to uplift our community and showcase. But if there is a story to be told, there is a news to be done with my experience and the team's experience. And I was talking about, you're as good as your team. Ms. Ashima Ori is our managing editor. And with her knowledge of the domain, understanding who's the nuances of the domain, I'm sure she, along with Costa and Krishnendra and more people that she will add this year in our editorial team, will be able to build an editorial product that gets your attention and, most importantly, your respect. So thank you for partnering with us in the first few initiatives, and hopefully in the next few initiatives, we'll be able to build to a scale that has even more value for you. Thank you. God bless you.